Imagine never feeling pain again. No stubbed toes, no headaches, no burns. Sounds like a superpower, right? For a small number of people on Earth, it's real. And it's killing them, slowly. Most of them don't even realize it. In 2006, a British research team led by geneticist Geoffrey Woods traveled to northern Pakistan to study something almost unbelievable. Local street performers had told stories for years about a boy who could push knives through his arms and walk on burning coals, all without flinching. Woods assumed it was a trick. It wasn't. The boy's name has never been publicly released, but his case changed medical science. He belonged to a family with a rare genetic condition. Woods and his colleague James Cox eventually traced it to a single gene, SCN9A, published in the journal Nature. This gene controls a specific channel in your nerve cells, one that's responsible for transmitting pain signals to your brain. In this family, a mutation switched that channel off, completely. Here's what that actually meant for the boy. He'd bitten through part of his own tongue as an infant, before he even had teeth to blame it on. He walked on injured legs without limping because nothing told him to stop. He never once cried from a physical injury in his entire life. At 14, he died. Not from illness. He'd been jumping from a rooftop to entertain a group of younger kids in his neighborhood, a stunt he'd done before. This time, the fall killed him. He felt nothing that warned him it might. This condition is called Congenital Insensitivity to Pain, or CIP. It's incredibly rare, only a few hundred documented cases worldwide. But the more scientists studied it, the more they realized something disturbing. Pain isn't the enemy we think it is. It's one of the most important survival systems your body has. And losing it doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like nothing, right up until it's fatal. Take Ashlyn Blocker, a girl in Georgia born with a different form of CIP. Her parents didn't find out something was wrong until she was an infant, when they noticed she never cried during vaccinations. As a toddler, she chewed through the tip of her own finger while teething and didn't react. She once held her hand on a hot pressure washer engine and only realized something was wrong when she smelled her own skin burning. Her parents had to become full-time inspectors of her body, every night checking her skin for cuts, bruises, and blisters she couldn't feel forming. A scraped knee that goes unnoticed can turn into an infection. A broken bone that isn't reported can heal wrong, permanently. In fact, doctors have a specific term for what eventually happens to many CIP patients' joints: Charcot joints, a condition where repeated unnoticed trauma silently destroys the joint from the inside, because there's no pain to make the person stop using it or seek treatment early. So why does pain exist at all? Why would evolution build something so unpleasant into every one of us? The honest answer is that pain is a warning system, and it's one of the most efficient ones biology has ever produced. When you touch a hot stove, you don't decide to pull your hand away. Nerve signals travel to your spinal cord and back before the message even reaches your conscious brain. A reflex arc, faster than thought. Pain also teaches long-term avoidance. Touch something sharp once, and your brain flags that object as dangerous, permanently. People with CIP don't get this. They have to consciously remember, this stove is hot, this glass is sharp, because their body will never teach them through instinct. And it's not just physical injury. Chronic, low-level pain, like inflammation or fatigue, is often the first sign something internal is going wrong. An infection spreading, an organ under stress. For people with CIP, appendicitis, one of the most painful conditions a person can experience, can go completely undetected until it ruptures. Some CIP patients have died from untreated internal injuries, specifically because there was no pain to send them to a hospital in time. Scientists have now identified several different genes involved in various forms of CIP, not just SCN9A. Some mutations block pain signals entirely. Others block the sensation but leave the nerve's protective reflex partially intact, meaning a person might still flinch from touching something sharp, without ever registering it as unpleasant. What's strange is that some of these same gene mutations have become one of the most promising areas in modern pain medicine. If scientists can figure out exactly how SCN9A blocks pain signals in people born with CIP, they may be able to design drugs that mimic that blocking effect, temporarily and safely, for people suffering from chronic pain conditions that current medicine can barely manage. In other words, the same genetic glitch that kills some people young might end up being the key to painkillers that don't carry the addiction risk of opioids. So the fantasy of never feeling pain isn't a superpower. It's the loss of one of the most sophisticated alarm systems your body runs, silently, every second, without you ever noticing it's working. Every bruise you wince at, every headache that makes you rest, every ache that makes you check on yourself. All of it is your body protecting you from damage you can't see coming. People with CIP don't get spared from injury. They just don't get warned about it until it's already done. Pain isn't something wrong with you. It's proof your body is still watching your back.